Sebenya bababishki baba. Way Forward is finally here. Months in the making, we're going to go over each of the changes that have been introduced by the developers, so stay tuned. The focus of the update is improvements to dungeon generation and enemy AI. This is a full overhaul of both systems and will lay the groundwork for future content and updates. Let's look at the changes that have been made. Dungeon generation. The algorithm used for building out the procedurally generated dungeons has been completely revamped to avoid the bugs we've all come to dislike. The new system allows for more complex and intricate structures, as well as fine-tuned dungeons based on a variety of parameters. Each dungeon type will differ in structure from one another. This is a great step in the right direction, since the completion of this work means the developers can focus on expanding the global map and improving how dungeons spawn. The possibilities become endless with the different types of rooms that can be constructed by the development team. With the update, we'll see rooms of uncommon forms and sizes, twisted corridors, decorated spacious halls, roomy passageways, complex structures, and collapsed walls available to all existing dungeon types. We'll no longer be able to rely solely on funneling enemies through a single spaced hallway. Instead, we'll have to plan for a variety of combat situations, which will add a new tactical spin to the game. In the future, they plan on including even more rooms, some with puzzles or special traps. One of these new room types are called secret rooms. These are long forgotten treasure rooms with entrances that are hidden from the character. You'll need to increase your perception or make use of the Examine Surroundings ability, which is a rework of Detect Traps skill we already have. Another type of room is one that already exists but has been greatly improved, the Boss Room. It will no longer be a cramped space identical to other rooms. Instead, it will be much larger and more detailed with a wider variety of valuable loot. Aside from these different room types, Bastions will include interactive elements such as water barrels for filling water skins, and kitchens that can be used to cook food looted from enemy pantries. Hosted rescue contracts have also changed. Rather than being in the same room as the boss, the hostage will be locked in a cell that can only be opened with a special key acquired from the boss's dead corpse. Artificial Intelligence. The system for determining the behavior of enemies has also been rebuilt from the ground up. Rather than following a simple path of actions, they now have more sophisticated tactics. Starting with archers, they will now keep as much distance as possible during combat. Luring them out by hiding behind a tree or wall won't work anymore. They can also pull out a secondary melee weapon once you approach for close combat or they run out of ammunition. And now they can actually run out of ammunition. Most enemies will also retreat now if the battle goes poorly for them. If they are funneled into a hallway, they will swap places with their allies before making a hasty retreat. There are many different conditions influencing their decision making during combat, with the most important one being low health. They'll be assessing the battles on a per turn basis. This is the case for weaker enemies. Stronger ones will be less deterred by injuries or their friends getting decapitated. Along with this wider variety of enemies for all dungeons, the more difficult the dungeon, the more heavily armored and equipped the enemies will be. This includes Rays, with a welcome addition of an Undead King type that gives heavy Lord of the Rings vibes. The changes to the AI allow easier introduction of new enemy types to the game. There are 2 new enemy types that will be introduced via the Crypt Dungeons. The Restless Dead. Beginner necromancers will find it much easier to resurrect a fresh corpse. These enemies are very resilient. Rather than chipping away at old dried out bones, you'll be hacking away at rotting flesh, which allows them to survive longer. Thanks to their new passive ability, Abominable Vitality, each time a Restless receives a killing blow, they have a chance to avoid death, losing body parts and completely replenishing health in the process. Gas. These are deranged, weak-willed warlocks who have completely lost their sanity. Once their transformation into gas is complete, they will assist necromancers, acting as a commander of sorts for their undead army. While skeletons and restless dead fight headlong, the gas will act as support, casting spells to assist. Aside from the ability to more easily introduce new enemy types in future updates, subtle changes to enemy awareness lays the groundwork for the much anticipated stealth system. Animal behavior has also been updated. Some animals will be more territorial, others more skittish.
Hey! Ah! Yeah.
Det kommer gå på oss istället.
Additional changes. There are also the typical array of random lesser changes that take place in these types of updates. The first to mention is an update to the steppe biome, where you typically find saiga and bison. Fog of War has also been updated to act and appear more smoothly than it currently does. There are also a few additional enemy skills that have been added. There are also 2 new consumables or ingredients that you'll find on the forest floor, which are acorns and pine cones. And new battle tracks, 2 new battle themes that will play, also a new track that will play while you are traveling through the forest. These have been attached and you've been listening to them in the background. There are also a number of changes that were done for balance and to fix bugs and for the UI in general. It is also important to state that the changes to enemies has entirely been with the Crypt and Bastion dungeons. Due to how complicated the vampires from the catacombs fight, with many different skills, abilities, and unique animations outside of generic weapon skills other enemies use, it is easy to see why this has been postponed. With the groundwork from Way Forward laid out, vampires can be improved in the future with the changes that have been made. Beyond Way Forward. While all these changes are nice, it still begs the question, what lays beyond Way Forward? Hope for Tomorrow has stated on the Russian Discord that the next update will most likely be the largest in terms of content and scale. The developers will be focused on expanding the map. This includes areas teased thus far like Bryn, which is spoken of by many NPCs in Osbrook and Manshire. The introduction of rivers and lakes to existing biomes has also been teased. Hopefully this means a fishing minigame is on the way. New points of interest in dungeons can likely be expected once the map has been increased in size. Outside of the expansion of the map and creation of additional content, what about the much requested magic skill trees? The developers have stated that these take a long time to develop due to their unique mechanics, animation, and the many bugs that come with them. In the time it takes to create one new magic skill tree, they would be able to build out 3 to 5 weapon or support skill trees. In the case of Geomancy, it took them at least a month to build and a month or more to work out all of the bugs. And that's just one magic skill tree. They feel it's better to focus on fundamental pieces of the game, like the map expansion and better progression. The priority is for middle and high level game content and mechanics. New magic skills will not likely be added until the team has at least finished all weapon branches. This game is still in early access, so we should be happy to see the developers being so upfront, providing weekly teasers and participating frequently in Discord. I'm happy to see the improvements made so far and excited for the future this game holds. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this interesting and informative. Make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and also hit the bell notification. I do daily Let's Plays of Stoneshard. We'll definitely be doing that with Way Forward, as well as weekly live streams on Sunday evenings. Until next time, peace.
でもそん